Train the muscles, not the joints.
Welcome back to Natural Gland Bodybuilding. Molten. And today I'm going to talk to you about something you might not have tried, at least not on purpose. And this is worth a try if you're having trouble activating certain muscle groups. Now, a lot of these things are just things for you to think about. I'm not making principles that are set in stone or anything. I'm just trying to give you some ideas of what to do and how to experiment with your training just to see what is working and what isn't. So the bottom line is that some people have trouble accessing certain muscle groups. I think every one of us has had trouble stimulating one area or another at some point in time. And the primary agreed upon practice in the bodybuilding community is to use a principle called pre-exhaustion. Now, when you pre-exhaust a muscle, it is so fatigued or exhausted in theory that when you go to use a compound movement after doing an isolation for said muscle, that muscle is supremely stimulated, or at least it's taking to an amount of exhaustion that might not normally happen with a compound movement, right? So for example, if you're bench pressing and you have trouble feeling the chest, the primary practice out there is to start with some flies first, exhaust the chest, and then go right to bench presses and then see how your pecs feel. And a lot of times, yes, they will hit a deeper level of exhaustion than if you're just doing bench presses alone. But there is a possibility that there is an opposite scenario that can also work. Now, let's go into Bizarro world for a while, okay? Those of you who are comic book fans, know Superman, and then there's Bizarro. He's like the opposite of Superman, right? And he's from the planet, what planet was he from again? It was like a planet where everything was the opposite. So anyway, what I'm saying is that what you might want to try if you're not getting any result from the pre-exhaustion method is to take an exercise like bench presses where you have trouble accessing the chest, right? And what you would do is pre-exhaust all the muscles around the bench press first, such as the front delts, the side delts, the triceps, and you do a whole workout for those movements and then hit the bench press. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, geez, the delts are going to get a deeper level of failure. The triceps are going to get a deeper level of failure. But something else could happen. If your delts and your triceps are in absolute exhaustion, what you might do is start recruiting a different muscle group in order to lift the weight. So in this way, it can make you very aware of how to fire the pecs and use the pecs for the movement instead of the shoulders and triceps because they're exhausted. And the only way to lift the weight is to try to recruit other muscle groups. So today what I did was I did shoulders first and I did some triceps. I also did some squats first, which is totally unrelated to this concept here. But after that workout, I said, I'll just finish off with some bench presses. And of course, when I was doing those bench presses, my shoulders were totally exhausted. My triceps were absolutely gone. And so I was just squeezing the chest and I got a really good feel out of the movement. So even if you're just looking for a different way to experiment or to experience an exercise, this is a great way to just increase your enthusiasm. Regardless of whether you already have great development in the pecs or not, you might make a discovery about the way the exercise mechanics are working and what feels right. And I got a wicked pump from it. It felt really great and everything. So I very rarely heard anybody actually apply this concept, although I'm sure there's some of you geniuses out there who are doing it. But I haven't really heard anybody talking about it publicly. But this could be a way for you to feel that muscle group that you so rarely feel. So with squats, you could do the same thing. Say you're having trouble feeling the quads. I know that seems to be crazy, but some people can't feel the quads very well. It's a dominant ass and hamstring exercise for them, just like it is for me because of the way I squat and stuff. But if you pre-exhaust the hamstrings, pre-exhaust the glutes, right? You might notice that your quads come into play a lot more during the exercise because your hamstrings and glutes are exhausted and you're forced to bring the quads into play in order to lift the weight. So this could be a way that you change the paradigm of how the mind-muscle connection is working in that compound movement and get more results and enthusiasm in the process. So yeah, I just thought I'd give you this tip. I hope this helps you out in your training, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. And thanks to you guys who have bought the book, the making of a mountain or any of my workout programs. I appreciate it. And yeah, thanks a lot to the page supporters who make this channel even possible. So thank you guys, and take care for now. Mountain. Oh yeah.